Sarah, my girlfriend, has been acting strange. I can no longer recognize her. She's moody and stressed. I always leave notes to make it clear how much I love her, but finding them in the trash infuriates me. It makes me want to lash out. It seems she doesn't appreciate the love I have for her, and that gets on my nerves. I always give her a goodnight kiss while she's asleep. I truly feel we're just going through a tough phase, but we love each other. She works as a doctor at a psychiatric hospital, so she's almost always busy. Every night, I leave little notes for Sarah, expressing my love, as I believe relationships thrive on displays of affection. But recently, it reached a breaking point. When I went to give her a goodnight kiss, she started cursing at me in a way I'd never seen before. She kicked me out, locked the doors, and doesn't want me there anymore. I felt betrayed. After everything I've done, she just treats me like this. Today I woke up and looked through her window. She wasn't there anymore, but in her place was a bearded man. I thought, what the hell? I won't be able to watch over her from the street where I live anymore. Ever since I escaped from the psychiatric hospital, I feel like I must take care of her, the one who used to take care of me within the hospital walls. It was a small, unsuspecting bedroom, decorated with soft purple walls, white trim, and a built-in with drawers on either side. The full-size bed sat high in the center of the room, perpendicular to a small crowded closet and a single window, with just enough space to walk around. The room was nestled on the corner of a second-story brick house. The window, overlooking a gentle rolling hill, carved into two by a two-lane road. Behind the house, within 50 feet of the sloped, uneven backyard, lie a dense forest that stretched on for miles. Inside the small room, I found refuge. I was a typical teenager, rebellious, moody, and given frequent conflict with my family, I preferred to be alone. Each night, I would retreat into my room, shut the lights, and dial into my laptop. But the laptop was merely a vessel for a hobby that I was indulging in. Inspired by a film class, I began watching all kinds of movies, both old and new, from the comfort and solitude of my bed. In that dark room, the world seemed to melt away as the screen danced with images of other worlds. Their stories distracted me from the chaos and emotion that simmered inside of me. Weeks passed, and a routine began to take hold. Many times, after leaving the room for a bathroom break or a quest for the perfect snack, I discover my cat, Emmy, must have snuck in behind me. She was a short, black-haired cat, impossible to see in the dark behind the screen, but I could feel her jump onto the bed and settle into the corner. One particular night, I retreated early, and it was not long into my second film before I felt the familiar weight on the edge of the bed. Smiling, I shifted myself to give her room and nestled back into the sheets, but was abruptly startled by my door whipping open. My mom stared into the room, looking visibly confused. "Did you walk into your room?" she asked. "No," I responded hesitantly. "I've been in here for a couple hours." She took several paces into the room, looking around the edges of the bed, and pressed again. "Do you have a friend over?" "No, it's just me and Emmy in here." "Why? What's wrong?" She turned on the light, and I sat up and looked down at my bed to see a large indent, still creased from the weight of her, was empty. I looked to both sides of the room, but she wasn't there. Puzzled, I looked back at my mom to see a fearful look in her eyes. I watched the girl walk into your room. I saw her in the hallway. Are you sure it wasn't you? No one is in here? I'm sure, I answered her. Fear began bubbling up deep inside of me, but I swallowed hard to try to force it back down. Okay. Never mind, my mom says, dejectedly, and closes the door as swiftly as she opened it. Stunned, I sat quietly in the darkness, illuminated solely by the dim light of my computer. The energy of the room seemed to have shifted. It no longer felt comfortable and safe. I felt scared. Who could she have seen? I wondered. Was it real or a trick of the eye? And where did Emmy go? My stomach twisted with anxiety, unsure of what to believe. I took a deep breath and pressed play on my laptop. This will help keep my mind off things, I thought to myself. 10, maybe 20 minutes go by, and I feel a familiar weight pressed into the edge of the bed. Pausing the movie, I sit up and whisper, "There you are," as I begin reaching for her. My hands patter on the blanket, but I don't feel her. I climb out of the bed to turn on the light when suddenly I realize that my door is closed. She couldn't have gotten in. Eyes wide, I dart to the light and switch it on to find the indent slowly leaving the bed. Emmy isn't in the room. Chills seem to dance across my skin, giving rise to a sea of goosebumps as realization seeped in. In an instant, I shut the lights back out, diving back into the bed. I slammed my laptop shut and pulled the sheets over my head. I squeezed my eyes shut as I heard my bed creak under the weight of it. Turning my back to the edge, I willed myself to sleep. It can't hurt me if I don't give it the energy, I told myself. My blood ran cold as I felt a hand on my shoulder, tugging me, beckoning me to look at it. The grip seemed to grow stronger, and from the corner of my eye, a dark figure towered over the bed. I whispered over and over for hours for it to leave, that it was not welcome. I whispered until exhaustion won the war versus fear, and the world went still. It was the last night I ever stayed in that small, purple room.